Om Shri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Greetings to everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters across the globe, our Indian diaspora, our non-resident Indians, and besides them, our other well-wishers, those join us regularly on this particular program every day at 8 p.m. We extend you a very warm welcome. Today is a very special morning because I'm going to say green morning and green afternoon and green evening because India's budget has totally turned into green. We're going to talk about tourism industry. I've got the legends of the Indian tourism industry. I also have at the same time the youth because the budget is also focused on the youth. So Friday, 3rd of February, 2023, 8 p.m., we are going to launch and we are going to move ahead with 1805th webinar, which we started a special series during the lockdown, during the COVID, because tourism was first to be hit and followed by the education sector, health sector, wellness sector, and others. Today, we are going to focus on tourism. Let me share with the world. Our chamber is a link between India and over 32 plus million Indian diaspora abroad. We focus on services sector. NRIs, we are proud of you, your contribution, your financial remittances, what you give to India. Besides that, your contribution towards education, research, innovation, technology, mentorship, adopting your own villages wherever you belong to, and at the same time, giving an opportunity to a lot of educators and youth to move across the world over with your support. And at the same time, the Honorable Prime Minister of India has given the vision, why not each NRI bring 5 tourists with them? Imagine what it would be. You recently met us on 9th of January at the Pravasi Bharati Divas in Indore, and 14th of January, we met Digital Way along with the Union, State Minister for Education and External Affairs, Government of India. That was on 14th of January, the annual convention of the ICSI Makar Sankranti. The entire economy of the country is agriculture, manufacturing, and services. We are focusing on services. We are not getting into the detail because 108 segments we are showing you right over here what all services industry comprises of. This is the complete research which we have done over a period of time. We are proud of that 28th of February 2018, 12 champion sectors of service industry were found and discovered and focused by the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. We were the part of that, and 5,000 crore was allocated going to the different ministries of these 12 champion sectors. And of course, tourism was one of them. Welcome to the world of Budget 2023. What are the announcements for the tourism and travel industry? I'm not getting into the details of this, what budget has come, how much it has come. These are my experts. Those are going to share with us, and how the Indian economy is going to become vibrant and getting the boosting, whether in infrastructure or in youth or in employment or in entrepreneurship or in startup or in technology, how tourism cuts across all the countries. Let me take you to the world of tourism with our brothers and sisters, those are joining for the program world over. Welcome to Incredible India, and at the same time, the cultural heritage of tourism and India, Dekho Apna Desh. And intentionally, I have put the picture over here on the right-hand side for beautiful northeast part of India, where there are 8 states, 45 million plus people, wonderful people, vibrant people, colorful people, energetic people, and a huge population of our youth. You'll meet them today in the program as well. Ladies and gentlemen, whatever your mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together and let's build the world through the lens of tourism. We are together. Today, we are completing 1,805 webinars, having started on 25th of March. With these words, join me in extending a very warm welcome to the fraternity and to the cerebrum and the celebrities and the intellectual capital and the wisdom of India. Rolling for Tourism Industry Budget Discussions 2023. We extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Such a pleasure to meet all of you. I would request Dr. Subhash Goyalji, the father of Indian tourism, the legend of Indian tourism, to whom I hold in a great respect. But before we go to him, let me share with all of you, right from the top, if you see in the canvas, the people, those are joining world over, we have got Mr. Tyrone D. Brass. He's the education and skill legend who is joining us from Northeast. On the other side also, I've got a young boy coming from Manipur, Philim Rohan, who has traveled, who has covered, who has moved on the bicycle almost 17,500 kilometers. Dekho apna desh. Rest of the things he'll discuss with you. What is he doing now? And what kind of a unique project he has got in the Northeast, where all specially abled children, the deaf children are working, and the restaurant name is The Voice. That is something which we have to think of. We've also been joined by Captain Sudesh Kumarji, the founder of the Adventure Tour Operators Association and the CMD of the Shikhar Travel. Dr. Subhash Goyalji, the legend of the Indian tourism. I learned a lot from him during my journey of tourism. And of course, when I moved on deputation to the Ministry of Tourism, he was the first person who held my hand, and I learned a lot. I hold him in a great, great respect. We have also been joined by Pranab Sarkarji from the Indian Association of our Tour Operators, a wonderful person. We have been sharing a couple of things from time to time. We have also been joined by Anilji. Anilji, you got to give your full name. I'm joining you for the first time. We have got Subhash Sharmaji, the another legend of tourism. See, he is bringing such a light, yoga, meditation, naturopathy, half light coming to you in a spa way, and you enjoy India altogether different way in the medical tourism and natural tourism and wellness tourism. We have also been joined by Said Sherwani ji and other dignitaries. They'll keep coming from time to time. Some of them, they will come later. With these words, let me request Mr. Subhash Goyal to first give his vision and his views with regard to the present budget and what initiatives have been taken by the government of India. Are we happy with 2,400 crores? Are we happy with 1,742 crores going to tourism infrastructure, 242 crores going to the promotion and branding, and 1,412 crores going towards Swadesh Darshan scheme? And a couple of other things. Let's not play with the statistics and jargons. We go straight to the depth of tourism. How do you look at the present scenario, what you are expecting, and what all we can do, and how we should proceed further so India becomes the icon as far as the tourism is concerned? Dr. Subhash Goyalji.
Thank you very much, Dr. Gulshan Sharma. I think we have a mutual admiration society. I admire the work you are doing. Though you're doing a webinar, and I mean, you're going to go into the Guinness Book of World Record by the number of webinars you have done. Coming back to the budget, I think I have experts here. Mr. Sherwani is there, and Pranab Sarkar is there, and so Sherwani represents the hotel industry. He has been, in faith also, and otherwise also in FHRI also. He's our leader, and Dada Pranab Sarkar has been the president of IATO and thorough professional. And Captain Sudesh Kumar, I admire him since since I have come into the industry. So having said that, I think we were all very happy that when the Prime Minister, when we were listening to the budget speech, we were all very happy that for the first time, right in the beginning of the speech, tourism has been mentioned. And secondly, we were very happy that they mentioned about developing 50, tourism, domestic and international destinations. We were also very happy when they talked about, branding and all that. But at the same time, we were very disappointed when we came to know that the allocation for promotion of publicity and market development assistance, which is MDA, which we get when we go to ITB or WTM and all, the tour operators, that from the previous allocation, which was 341 crores, has reduced to 167 crores. Now, this is probably because they are having, they're closing down the offices and giving it to the embassies and all. But I really feel that before closing down the offices, they should, appoint marketing agents in the source markets so that, there is no gap. Otherwise, our neighboring countries like Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and all these countries will benefit. So that is one, weak spot. But the worst hit that we have got in the budget, you see, is the TCS. Now, the Indian tour operators, mostly October to March is the peak season for inbound tourism. But in the summers, most of us are doing outbound travel because, and airlines also, in order to balance, they need seats both ways. So the package, already we had requested the government that TCS should be reduced, 5% should be abolished. But instead of that, they have given us a blow by increasing TCS to 20%. TCS is tax collected at source, and that is a package which is there, although it will be effective 1st of July. So I think on behalf of ITO, TAI and all the associations, we are going to put a great appeal. Plus, I request all the listeners today to send Twitter to the Prime Minister that, this is killing the geese that lays golden eggs. That is very, very important because if such restrictions are there, because on one side in the budget, the finance minister talks about making India a tourism hub. Hub means both inbound and outbound. You cannot have one-way hub. So if they are going to kill outbound tourism, or they are going to force Indian traveling public to request their friends and relatives abroad to buy packages or tickets for hotel packages from them, so that will be not good, because it might result in unhealthy and unethical practices. So we want the government. Today I had the fortune of meeting the revenue secretary at one of the events today, and I think the chairman, Central Board of Direct Taxes, and other people are still there in Oberoi Hotel. CII interaction is going on, but I had to come back to my house in order for this webinar. Otherwise, I would have been there. So they didn't allow me to raise the question, but I walked with the revenue secretary and I told him that you are denying, the middle class people and the poor people and those who you want. You see, traveling is the best education. And do you want education, this traveling, holidays, to be limited only to the super rich? As it is, the airfares which were there in 2019, an airfare to Toronto or USA, which was there for 60,000-70,000 rupees, today is 2 lakhs, 1,60,000 is the minimum. So I think already airfares have become prohibitive. And on top of that, if you do this TCS at 20%, it is going to kill this industry. As it is, we are suffering. After the COVID, we had just started recovering. And now with this, I think it is going to be a death nail. So what I would say is it is a sugar-coated, pill of poison, which is going to kill the tour operators and the travel agents, because they talk about thousands of crores, which they also talked about, after the COVID, but no one got a single rupee in their hand. Secondly, the industry had requested the government that, all the foreign tourists who come, when they do their shopping, whatever GST or VAT, in some countries they call it VAT, that should be refunded at the airport, as it is done in Dubai, as it is done in Singapore, as it is done in London, and many other countries which attract tourism. Now, nothing on that has been announced. Similarly, we were getting SEIS. I think Pranab Sarkar is elected member of the Services Export Promotion Council. So he will speak on that. SEIS was a great benefit that we were getting, and that benefit we here is being withdrawn, and we are requesting the government, the Ministry of Finance, to allocate funds to the Ministry of Commerce for SEIS, because that was one incentive which we got. There are a lot of other demands which the tourism industry had given to the government, but no specific answer to any of the demands has been made. So overall, it is a very good lip service. It is very good announcement. They say we'll promote tourism with a passion. There'll be 50 airports and heli airports, but only the big industrialists might benefit with the privatization of railways, or, having more trains. Good, I think infrastructure is developing. We have the fastest highway network being developed in the world, in India. And also the railways is being modernized. We are very proud of that. And our Prime Minister has done a great job. We have made India proud that, we have become one of the fastest growing economy in the world. We have overtaken UK. So, and if we carry on at this speech, we might, be able to become the fastest growing economy in the world. But the whole thing is that down the line, the people who have suffered during COVID, the worst is the tourist guides who are dependent on, German speaking, Italian speaking, Russian speaking, Japanese speaking. Now they are only dependent on foreign tourists. And as it is, the number of foreign tourists who are coming into India has not reached the pre-COVID levels. In 2019, we earned $30 billion in foreign exchange, and we had over 11,000 international tourists. Now, I hope in 2023, this year, we will be able to reach that number, but that will only be possible if you don't, kill the tour operators by, then there are a lot of other things. I don't want to take time because we have a lot of experts here on the panel. So I would say this, but I will be able to take questions later on if there are any.
Thank you.
Over to you, Dr. Gulshan Sharma.
Thank you. Thank you very much for setting the context. I think each one of us would be very kind and courteous, because the person who is sitting at the airport and who may lose a connection and who may lose a flight to reach back home in Delhi, I would request Captain Sudesh Kumar to quickly take on his views, and thereafter then we move on. He's sitting at Mumbai airport. He has to take a flight, and he intentionally took a little delayed flight so that he can attend this particular program. I'm honored and I'm obliged, and my courtesy moves to you. Captain Sudesh Kumar, the founder of the Adventure Tour Operators Association and the CMD of the Shikhar Travels. Please go ahead.
Good evening. Namaskar to everyone around the world and my fellow panelists. I must tell you, I'm a very positive person. I believe in positivity. Let's see what are the good points of the budget are. The weaknesses, Subhash has mentioned, others are going to mention, but I would tell you the strengths of the budget. Number one, adventure tourism industry has been telling the government to open airports on the far-flung areas, especially.
Your voice, you have been muted.
Yes.
आप unmute करो अपने आप को.
Just try it out, Captain Saab.
I think areas where we want connectivity to better. Similarly, also in Garhwal Himalayas, for example, we want to come. So this is a demand of the industry, adventure industry, and very happy that it has been accepted. Whatever the logic they gave, but I think it's a great thing. We're very proud of the fact. Second thing, what the government says, village promotion of village, 50 villages or 50 destinations village, is again, please understand, village will not be promoted in metro cities or tourist cities. It will be again in the areas of northeastern areas of Ladakh or Kashmir or various other places where far-flung areas which is not being promoted at all. So again, village, what is village? What is adventure tourism? Adventure tourism is very clear. There should be activity, there should be nature, and there should be some sort of immersion with the local communities. And I can tell you one thing that we're very proud and very happy with the fact that the village tourism is being promoted. All of our customers who go to adventure activities finally go to the village. If government can put energy and effort to promote villages, but they were indicated, I think is a great thing happening. Things. Third thing they said was promotion of handicraft industry. They want to set up a centers, a city, and the capital cities as well as tourist cities where they're going to have a handicraft promotion of handicraft. This is what we want. The local community should take benefit out of it. And I think we in the industry must give support to this particular thing and tell the government where to set up these centers. I think now is a high time we tell the government what to do, where to set up this. They want our advice. We should give it to them. It is a very essential and, in my opinion, important thing. And finally, I must say this, Gulshanji, that government has announced that in the speech of the Prime Finance Minister said tourism is a focus area of the government, India. It's the first time in history of tourism somebody has said it's a focus area. We're very proud of it. But thanks to the government. I think it's a very, very positive step. And finally, I would like to add on one more point is this government has also decided to have make an app to enhance the domestic tourism experience of people. I think app again is a great initiative of the government. At present, people have no idea what is happening in the world. I mean, I'm just sitting, coming, I was watching, went to OT, and I found a lot of people have come and given a lot of programs, but they have never exposed themselves to the program to the industry overseas. I think it's a high time we should expose all our products to the industry, and we, as a hold hand, each other's hand, and try to promote. I know I'm a great believer. The cooperation is the mantra of success, survival. In the post-pandemic, I think we all have to help each other grow and grow. I think I must compliment this budget has for us in the adventure industry has been fairly good, excellent, and it is really touching the deep root of our work. Thank you, Gulshanji. I leave it to others.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Captain Sudesh Kumarji, because you're trying to bring a balance in the budget. That's why, whatsoever. Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. What you mentioned about tourist destination app, that is something very interesting. I studied the entire thing in detail. Length and breadth. It's a new app which will be launched with all the relevant information about tourist destinations, information that will include physical connectivity, the bandwidth, the virtual connectivity, tourist guides, food streets, and tourist security as well in that app. I have studied in a detail with a couple of my colleagues. Those are from the edtech platforms and app developers, and they told this is really going to make tourism quite transparent in a digital way. With these words, now there is a tie between Pranav Sarkarji and Said Sherwaniji because both are new to me on the platform. It's entirely both of them can decide who would like to come first, whether Hospitality or Services Exports Promotion Council, because during the pandemic, no support has been given to the travel trade and we have been crying, and even what facility was given earlier, that has also been withdrawn. So Said Sherwaniji and Pranav Sarkarji, the tourism and hospitality can decide together who would like to serve the humanity first.
I was actually going to wait for Mr. Pranabji to say something, but as a person, I think surrounded by the transport and travel agents, I feel the hotelier should get a chance.
Yes.
He's smiling. Sarkarji is smiling. Please go ahead.
It's very nice meeting old friends, and I would like to thank you for inviting me and including me in this discussion. I have been for 40 years lobbying for the hospitality and travel industry. I had the honor and privilege of being the president of FHRAI and one of the founder members of FAITH. the idea that all of us got together and made faith was because we felt as a single voice, we would be more effective when it came to dealing with our own government. Uh, 40 years ago, I used to hear when I was a youngster and I joined the industry, I used to hear about focus on domestic tourism. I used to hear about tourism not being given its due by the government. And I used to hear about the poor infrastructure. Today, we are clapping because we are being told that we are important. We are being told that it is a very important economic activity. I was told the same thing in 2014 when the Prime Minister was elected for the first time, that tourism is one of the five pillars of economy. So when the Finance Minister says today that tourism is a very important part of Indian economy, forgive me if I don't clap. Uh, because this is the same thing that has been said again and again. The problem is brass tack as a hotelier. I would just come to the final 5 points. We had been asking for 30, 40 years that infrastructure status must be brought down from 200 or 50 crores to 10 to 20 crore rupees. Why? Because budget hotels, India is a budget destination, both for domestic and for the foreign tourists. We have larger tourists that comes in the budget and middle budget segment. And therefore, for us to need hotels to come up, we need two or three things. One, we need cheaper land. Our travel agent, tour operator friends are always asking for more economical rates. These rates are not possible if land is at the huge cost that it comes at. Our licenses take 3 to 5 years from the time we procure the land to the time we build. This was the same problem 25 years ago. It may have been ease to business in other businesses. I don't see my hotel friends saying that ease to business has happened in the hotel industry today. As a budget hotelier, I'm not talking about the giants. I'm not talking about the huge multinationals. I'm not talking about the big companies. But if I want to put up a 40, 50 room budget hotel, I need to struggle to get the land, to get the permission, to get the conversion, to get open the hotel and to get all the licenses. It does because it's a state subject. It differs from state to state. It has not come on the tourism concurrent list. I asked for it 25 years ago. My colleagues here have asked for it 20 years ago. We are still asking for it even in 2023. So therefore, gentlemen, infrastructure, yes, we have made tremendous improvement in our railways. As Mr. Goel pointed out, in our airports, we are very happy that we are going to get 50 more airports because infrastructure is a very important part of the tourism and travel business. And I'm glad for that. But Bharat Dekho or things like that, this lip service has been said before. Domestic tourists kept us alive as a hotelier during the bad period of COVID, and domestic tourist is still going to be a very important segment of the hotel industry. We welcome the foreign tourists. We welcome our NRI brothers back, and we hope they'll come in large numbers. But it is the domestic tourist which has to be paid attention, and the budget tourist that has to be given more importance, as well as the setting up of the hotel period must be reduced from 3 to 5 years to 1.5 to 2.5 years. Thank you.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Sherwani Saab.
Very
I'll
nice.
come back to you again. With these words, let me move to Pranav Sarkarji, the former president of the Indian Association of Tour Operators. Let's have your views, and you can have more from the Services Exports Promotion Council also. क्यों ट्रैवल एजेंट से आपने वो सब विड्रॉ कर लिया जो बाकियों को मिल रहा है? कितनी बार इस प्लेटफॉर्म पे बातचीत हुआ? ताज होटल में एनुअल कन्वेंशन में पीयूष गोयल जी के सामने भी इस पॉइंट को लिया गया. The previous chairman was going and Talati ji was coming, and that time also it was discussed, but nothing has moved. He says, nahi, travel agents ko zarurat nahi hai, iski kya karna hai? That's what the Honorable Minister for Commerce and Industry feels. So, Pranab Sarkarji, what are your views? How would you support the travel and trade industry, which has suffered maximum, the first bird to be shot and the last to recover?
Thank you, Gulshan ji. Thank you very much. And good evening, everybody, and namaste to all over the world, all the listeners. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to be with you this evening. And as Gulshan ji has raised the question, I will come back to that second portion of my a conversation with you. But the first portion, I would like to say something about the budget. Since you have taken up the budget portion first, so I thought of just giving my feedback on the budget. First of all, whatever has been announced, it is very positive note from the government side that they understood the importance of tourism. So, which is not only creating jobs, but also is responsible for getting foreign exchange for the country. Now we have the opportunity to meet the finance minister 1 year back, and we had certain point discussed, and she was very positive. I think the movement started after our prime minister started harping about the tourism segment, and we are writing to him directly as well as to the government through the Ministry of Tourism as well. So during my tenure, we have been achieved to sensitize that tourism is one of the most important segment of our country, and it should be given some importance. However, the announcements made are very positive, but I look at in a very different way that these declarations, whatever they have announced, that is going to help us for next 2 to 3 years, 4 years, when these things are in place. They are talking about the job opportunities for the creating jobs, but this is not going to create immediate job opportunity right away. First of all, the young people, they are very scared to join this industry, having back very bad experience about the pandemic. And therefore, there is a hardly learned students or the young people are looking at tourism industry for a job. Therefore, it is a very hard situation today's date that we are not getting manpower. Forget about the trained manpower. All the manpower, trained manpower, they have shifted from our industry. Nothing has been done by the government to recover those losses. So therefore, it is very important that what they announced today, they should put some time frame. Last time also they have announced certain tourism related issues, but there is no time frame and there is no record of what they said and how much they have been achieved. So therefore, whatever they have said today, they should put some time frame so that it is going to help us. Number two, they have announced also, as rightly mentioned, 50 destinations and a mall, the tourist mall where they can, Unity Mall, where they can sell the handicrafts and other things. But here again, it will take time. It is not going to give, job opportunities overnight. That is very important that they should do. So as Mr. Goyal mentioned that there is a tax refund structure, it is in place, but not been announced. So if the handicrafts are being sold, why tourists should go and buy if there is no refund mechanism in place? So that is another issue that I would like to highlight here, that these things need to be looked into. And thirdly, the airports also going to take some time. It is not overnight airports is going to come up. So it is a 3 to 4 years time frame, and that need to be declared that by this time it will be available. Now, about the budget, I have mentioned, but if something comes up, I will let you know later on again. But these are the key issues that I wanted to highlight. Number two, about the SCIS. You mentioned, and I hope you attended that Taj Palace. You mentioned that I think I was there, and straight away I asked the Commerce Minister, what is the need of SCIS? Because this government is giving some hand holding and also assured that good governance and ease of doing business. But nothing is been focused and given for this industry to do and declare that it is hand holding. It is not. SCIS was one of the biggest advantage for the hand holding by the government to compete the competition in the international market. Now, without the SCIS, how we can go and market under the highest regime of GST? How we are going to compete? Our neighboring countries are charging GST 6 to 9%. whereas our average GST is 18 to 22%. While using hotels and transport and air tickets, if you look at, everything has some GST. And the GST is also, tour operators' hand. It has no ITC, means tax on tax is there. And the government, when they declared GST, there will be no overlapping of GST. There will be no, and it will be refunded. But in tour operator case, GST is not refundable. Therefore, we are charging huge amount, and without ACIS, we are unable to pass on the benefit to our tourists, and therefore our packages will be costlier. Now, come back to the Commerce Minister. As per his statement, he explained that he once asked one of the hotelier friend, that if I remove GST, SEIS, will you stop business? The hotelier friend said, no, never. And that was the issue where if he is not going to close down the business, if the tourism industry does not get SEIS, they will not close down. But it is not the case. The case is here that hand-holding must go on, because to extending SEIS, our business is going to grow. And with the growth of business, government is going to benefit it with additional GST and taxes. And beside the increase in job opportunities. So now, if you are giving us 5% SEIS on our total volume, and you are charging 20% GST, you are not losing actually. You are giving, and I on the platform, I said that government should consider SEIS as an investment, and under the investment, industry should flourish. And this is going to come back in multiplier effect of tax collections by the government. So he did not answer anything on that part. So we are stuck, and we are here today. And still today, it is not been introduced again. But however, the situation is now that they have asked SCPC that they should provide some kind of alternative to SEIS so that they can consider. So still now, 100% it is closed is not that. Still some conversation and dialogue is going on. And from SCPC, we are trying our best to come out with some alternative and benefit the industry. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Sarkar. I was very much there when the new chairman was taking over of the SCPC. It was in the Taj Hotel. I attended the whole function. I had come from Singapore just to attend that program that day. Thank you very much for sharing. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also been joined by Mr. Rajiv Mehra, the president of the Indian Association of Tour Operators. We have also got Mr. Mukesh Jaggaji. I'm seeing him after a long time today. The only thing is his mustache have grown quite a bit over the period. Association of Domestic Tour Operators. So I'll find Dekho Mera Desh whether mustache competition is also there. And then we have also been joined by Anil Kalsiji from the Travel Agents Federation of India. But all the three legends, those have joined now. I would request three of you, give 3 minutes to Northeast part of India. There's a young boy who has bicycled entire India, 17,500 kilometers he has traveled on bicycle. He has set up a restaurant with the deaf waiters, deaf people at the counter, and the restaurant name is The Voice. And he has got big plans for future, because this budget and whatever we are talking about, it's for youth, it's for the younger people. So Mehra Saab and Jaggaji, and Kalsi Saab, give 3 minutes to the youngster from Northeast, and thereafter I will have the golden triangle, all three of you. Film, go ahead for 3-4 minutes. Unmute your mic. Yes.
Yes, sir. I'll be very precise with what I want, what kind of help do I want from all the dignitaries. I'm really humbled today for giving me this opportunity, this platform. When I look all the profiles of everyone who is joining here, like I'm someone who is very young, and like I'm so humbled to be among all of you. Thank you so much. And
They all are
I,
here to listen to you, Philem. Come on, come out with your idea.
so I as a youth, like I have been, I've been very keen with all the tourism of India, and I've been traveling all over India for 17,500 kilometers by cycle already. I've done Kashmir to Kanyakumari. I have done Delhi to Imphal twice. I have done the Golden Quadrilateral. I've visited each and every states of India by cycle, and I have tasted so many cultures, food, tradition, everything. So when I was listening to all the dignitaries speaking about Indian tourism, I find it very relatable to the point where one of us sir was mentioning about domestic tourism. So when domestic tourism can be promoted by person like us who go by as a person by ourselves. I visit so many of the schools, colleges, university, speak in front of 1,000, 2,000 people every day on a daily basis, that I take permission from the principals and the authorities of the school. My voice can be also properly channelized as a channel of tourism, that I can advertise the tourism of Kerala to Maharashtra, the tourism of Maharashtra to the Northeast, the tourism of Northeast to the other South India. And that's how, like, I can be a vessel of the tourism sector. So I also have by the grace of God, I also have a very big channel of Facebook. I have a verified account, and I have a follower of 134,000 followers. And Instagram, I have 59,000 followers. This can be also used as a platform where people start to understand about the different tourism sectors of different varieties of the states. So my whole upcoming project is that I have an electric bike with me right now, which I'm riding all the way from Manipur, and I have reached Delhi yesterday. And I have planned of visiting another 89 remaining smart cities of India by an electric bike. So from all the tourism sector, I would also love to see support from the tourism sector wherever I go, that I can be a vessel of advertising more of the domestic tourism sector. I can be of a great voice to all the students whom I'm speaking. As a person, I can speak to them about the tourism of different states of India. Thereby, like, at least if I could get some sponsors, not in such a way of money, but also if I can get places to stay wherever, so that I can properly sit down, stay in the place, plan it out, so that I can go and use myself. And also, it's a concept of one video, one tourist spot every day. So if I'm traveling for 300 days, it means like there will be 300 videos of 300 different tourist spots all over India.
God bless you, Philem. Rest in the next part. Rest in the next part, Philem.
Yes,
We are
Dr.
proud of
Gulshan
you.
Apology to Mukesh and Anil ji. Pehle Rajiv ji ko le lijiye, because he's from other event. So give him 2-3 minutes.
Okay. Philem, we are proud of you. We are proud of Northeast part of India. Last 40 years, I am associated with this particular soil. We will support you from the industry. Let me just work out for you. Wait, let me hear Rajiv Mehra ji, the president of the IATO. He's at other function, but he had been very kind to come over here. I met him last in Delhi in month of August when Ajay Gupta had organized the function, the first physical tourism event after pandemic in Lee Meridian Hotel. Rajiv Mehra ji. Unmute your mic, Rajiv ji. Unmute your mic, please.
Now, what we are talking about is rethinking of tourism post-pandemic. This is what the topic is. Now, the point is here that as I'm from the inbound tourism, inbound is still not started off. It is still tickling in. And the clients are much more intelligent today. Whoever comes from abroad even has done his homework. And there are things going on like that, but we are facing a lot of problems. Rethinking tourism is I will not say what should I say on this. Hotel rates are such high today. International flights are so expensive that today the topic is that how will the client come to India? We are just struggling to get them back. So I'm quite hopeful. All of us are trying. By October or so, things should settle down.
Government of India is also not starting any advertisement, anything abroad so far. I hope with some allocations of funds done, they will be used for this. Now,
Your
apart
views on the budget also.
budget.
Your
no,
views on the budget.
As far as the budget is concerned, there have been mentions of tourism thrice or four times by the tourism minister, but nothing concrete has come. Except I have already condemned that TCS which has been imposed on outbound is something which is not acceptable totally, and we are working on that with the other associations. I will work with them next week. Somehow, what we should do and get this done. So we will try that also, because that is a very bad thing which has happened to tourism as such, because most of the outbound people will have to shut their shops. Now, as far as this young guy from North is concerned, yes, I will, from Mr. Verma, I'll also take his details and we'll talk with him and see what and how we can do things with him also.
Wonderful. Wonderful, Rajiv Mehraji. Thank you very much. I know you are in the
Please
middle of the
take
program
Mukesh.
somewhere.
I am already there, so I just
I
came in here.
know. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you a lot, and we'll see.
We are
Thank you,
obliged.
Ji.
Thank
We
you
are
very
obliged.
much.
Thank you.
We
And
are.
take Mukesh ji and Anil ji, please now.
Now there is a tie between both of them. They can decide. I've got Travel Agents Federation of India and I've got Association of Domestic Tour Operator, because me and Tyrons are the human resource development and the education and the youth for tourism. Okay. So Anil Kalsichi and Mukesh Jaggaji, you both can decide.
I'll leave it to Mr. Kalsi to start first.
Wow.
He's my boss one way, and I'll hit the last one. Kalsi, go ahead.
Thank you.
Wonderful. That's a gesture of tourism. Atiti Devo Bhava. Auji.
First of all, thanks to Mr. Mukesh Jagga. He's been a great friend and always a supporter and a guiding force in the industry. Honestly, the words spoken by Mr. Goyal actually spelled it all out for all of us, because Mr. Goyal looks after all facets of the society, of the association, and he understands both inbound and outbound very well. The fact is that, yes, of course, it's a bouquet. People have to come in and go out of the country, and that's how it can work, because you cannot put a dam and just have inbound coming, and outbound should be deaded.
Yes.
So this new TCS is actually a very negative thought. I don't know how it has come in. We understand that there are billions going out of the country for outbound, but billions are coming in also in terms of inbound. It's a true two-way traffic. Tourism is a two-way traffic. You cannot just ask for people to come in. You have to let people go out unhindered. And we are living in a society where money has got a lot of value attached to it. An Indian, when he's going abroad, has to plan his budget. He doesn't have exceptional funds to leave another 20% in the government coffers when he is going out, because it's a huge sum of investment. It's not that everybody is trying to, keep taxes at bay. People are now paying taxes. India is a growing economy. People are paying digitally. And there are options like EMIs available even for foreign travel. So if at all if it's just open free for all, the economy grows, the business grows, government makes money on GST, on tickets, on GST, on every other thing that happens in India. So you shouldn't have a short-sighted feel. It should be open, and outbound tourism should actually be, the TCS should go. It should be an open playing field, because we are living in a world where everything is so accessible and people can go and book directly on the hotels or on websites, on foreign websites, on foreign channels, thereby evading the 5% GST and also the 20% TCS. 25% is a huge cost on any foreign outbound tour. So as an association, faith should take it up, because everybody's voice is important. And I've requested the president and chairman and Mr. Mehra also today. We should go to the tourism ministry and the civil finance ministry together to make the maximum thrust to get this done away with so that outbound travel agents can still survive and move forward.
I think you need to send Twitter
Very,
message.
very well said.
You need to, all of us who are listening, need to send Twitter messages to the Prime Minister and tell your staff all to send these messages.
Sure.
Because I think everything is now controlled by the PMO. So if all of us get together and make voices with the PMO, then I think we can get some relief. Otherwise, today I spoke to the Revenue Secretary, and I don't think they are in a mood to,
Bring some change in that.
Yes, I agree with you. It comes from the
Okay.
top.
So-
Well said, definitely.
Okay.
These thoughts, the Prime Minister's words on the Red Fort one day, that so many Indians are going out and so much is being spent, was the precursor to all these things happening. And in due course of the years, I have actually stopped listening to the budget because I haven't got a good news in the last many years, since Mr. Jaitley's time, and always hears of difficulties coming in our way. Since 2010, there are no commissions on tickets. You have stood by,
only
you
thing
have asked for commission.
Yeah, that's-
Only
I
thing
mean, 2010, there is a DCCA order asking for remuneration for agents. And even now, we don't have remuneration for agents
Subhash
in India.
ji, on this, I would like
Okay.
to tell Subhash Goel, I've been saying for many years, one small thing, one meeting of the industry with Mr. Modi himself. And
Correct.
Subhash Goel can be lead this. That will solve a lot of our problems. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Anil Kalsiji. Wonderful inputs from your side. Let me go to Mr. Mukesh Jaggaji.
Jaga, yes.
It's a pleasure meeting you after such a long time. Great. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you for inviting me, Gulshanji. We all have changed, and so have you also. First of all, good that you brought in Film Rohan online, and if he's available tomorrow or on Monday or on Sunday, I'm ready to meet him and understand and promote him in the domestic.
Wonderful.
market.
Film Northeast is taking a lead now.
Very
You're
good.
getting the support of the industry.
Very good.
Yeah,
Film-
please go ahead, Mukesh ji.
My mobile is 9811 54621. Anytime you can call me, preferably on WhatsApp. At times we
That's
don't
it.
get the
Very
normal
good.
line.
Thank you.
God
So
bless.
definitely come, and it will be good if you can come on Sunday or on Monday as per your choice.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, that's one part. Number two is coming on to initially the TCS part. It's not only we as a travel industry have got very badly hit by it. I'll just give you one example. Securities market, if you want to invest abroad in the mutual fund or whatever it might be, over there also the 20% taxation has come in. So it is good time to meet even the securities people or people who are affected across the country. There should be a forum and the lead should go. And obviously when everybody is affected, I'm sure the Honorable Prime Minister will definitely look at it. Number two is that the government is getting free money for paying no interest, and we are collecting the money, accounting it, and even getting prosecuted for it. Our cost is now more on accounts than on keeping operation people.
Yes.
How do you make money? And the worst part is that even if the client doesn't pay you, you still have to pay it. So it's a very difficult situation. I'm sure I would suggest here Mr. Bipin Sapra, Ernest & Young, who was initially working with the service tax department, and editorial luckily got two answers from them in writing from them, that how at that time the service tax got resolved for us. So I'm sure that all of you are there as leaders. If this lead can be taken up over there. And also one point which has to be taken up is this double taxation. If I have an office only in Delhi and I want to sell Goa or Maharashtra or anything for a conference or a wedding or any tourism package, I don't get back the GST back. Instead, I have to charge more and the client becomes more expensive for me, why would he come to me? This is all what I would like to say at this stage, because the legendaries have already spoken about it and there is no point repeating all the things.
Very
Thank you
valuable.
very much.
Thank you.
Very
Thank
valuable.
you.
Very valuable,
Yes.
Mukesh Jagani.
Good
Thank
points.
you very much.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Subhash Verma ji, you always talk about spiritual tourism, wellness
Yes.
tourism,
Thank
and
you.
cultural
Thank
heritage
you.
of tourism. Let's have a
See,
little
I
clip
will-
of yours, and
I will-
thereafter then we go to Mr. Tyrone. Please go ahead.
Okay, I will take 2 minutes. As far as the budget, our theme today, I think first positive is positive. First time after long years, the FM has really spoken in very clear words the importance of tourism industry, which is somewhat thrilling us at least. That is what I say. Whether it's indirectly, infra, railways, or even 50 airports or helipads, it's quite something positive. But then industries duty also to pinpoint which is not so positive or less positive or negative. Anyway, I could speak on few points, but a lot of people have spoken. I still say that wellness, spirituality is our USP after more even better than IT industry where India is a leader. This is the global time. We are not putting enough whether the ministry or FM and everybody, not enough importance on this spirituality and wellness with the whole people all around the globe. They are looking towards India for this domain. And I still say budget should have also touched a little bit much more specific, much more on this subject on which I still feel it, because this is the only India can deliver this. Nobody can else deliver it, and a lot of more potential. This is my point, especially on this. Thank you for
Thank
today.
you. Thank you, Subhash ji. I would request Mr. Tyrone D. Brass to say briefly. I'll get you at the end again. He is a legend for education, for skills, for competencies, for capabilities. The idea which comes to my mind all the times, and I keep thinking about it, any segment you take, you can come to know where are the apps, where are the edtech platforms, where is everything. But when I look at tourism, there is no consolidation forum which gives me, I can just see is my trip, make my trip, something else, and you know, few of them. But when I talk in reality, in digital way, getting into the bottom of the edtech platforms and apps. So, Mr. Tyrone, how do you look at the tourism education and tourism skills? And let's take your vision from the Northeast point of view.
Thank you, Doctor. Good evening to all the learned gentlemen on the panel. I'll just make one observation. They say a drunken man speaks a sober mind. And I know none of the panelists are drunk, but they were so blunt in their observation about the tourism sector in India. And the way they speak with such passion and conviction, they want a change, a transformation to come about. But taking a step further, last year, in late November, the government of Meghalaya announced the tourism policy of Meghalaya. And they have taken some very proactive steps. Number one, they have set up land banks. So they've identified a few areas where they could set up hotels, and they have bought land. And eventually they will sell it to a promoter. Now, the best part about the Northeast, and that includes Meghalaya and Sikkim, is the whole place is, the environment is pristine. You know, even in the monsoon time, or in the summertime, the AQI of the many Northeastern states is less than 50. Okay, that's the beauty about the Northeast. The air is good, the water is good. Our rivers are still clean. I can tell you that. In fact, we have one of the cleanest rivers in Meghalaya called the Umgot. Okay, and one of the cleanest villages as well, Molinlong. All right, so the environment is pristine, and since the situation of law and order has improved a lot in Meghalaya and other Northeast states, tourists, inbound tourists coming in from other parts of India has been growing. And Meghalaya last year received 15 lakh tourists, 15 lakh domestic tourists. Okay. And even though it was such a big number, we are still falling short of accommodation. Now there's a company called the Meghalayan Age Limited. Okay, that's a government undertaking, and they have now identified certain areas in the state. They're going to set up hotels and hand it over to people who know something about the hotel industry. Now, that's a wonderful project. And then the homestay has taken up in a big way. The district I come from, West Garo Hills, has tremendous number of homestay units. So we don't have to worry about hotels as such. People are now.
Otherwise, also post-pandemic, people prefer now homestays and small units. Yes.
A room, 2 rooms, 5 rooms. Yes, things are looking good on that sector. But all said and done, we need to keep law and order as paramount. Make sure that is good.
Yes.
Right. And of course, our infrastructure is getting better. We have good roads now, and our power sector is good. What has been there for a long time, which we need to improve, is the internet service, Dr. Gulshan.
Great. You'll be very happy to know that in the budget, in the budget, 229 crores specially have been allocated for tourism infrastructure and tourism promotion in the 8 northeastern states. That has come in detail in budget. So there's a lot which is to be done. Now, finally, let's have the closing remarks of everybody. And Philim, you can put your point at the end to everybody, your request, whatever. Let's take a quick run, because technology, youth, tourism, speed, quantity, quality, whatever we have to take into consideration, there's a lot to be done in this country, whether Dekho Apna Desh or inbound tourism or outbound tourism. One more idea which comes to my mind. When you think about Bollywood, Pollywood and Tollywood, why are we allowing these people to go out of the country? Yash Chopra ji used to go all the way to Switzerland to make his movies. Can we think of somewhere cinematic tourism, film-induced tourism, youth related to music and tourism? There's a lot which can be done within the country itself. Let's think a little bit beyond the normal traditional approach where we have been just talking about. And like Tyrone mentioned just now, the homestays and, the family where you go and stay with the people. I've been joined by the head of the Cambodia tourism right over here, and he's writing me on the WhatsApp. The people, those have come in the panel today, please arrange their fam tour. We will host it in Cambodia. Let them come and explore Southeast Asia. We'll work out something on that. Thank you, Mr. Mohan Gunti. I've taken your words. With these words, let me just come on to the closing remarks, and let's have the final word coming from everybody. Youth, tourism, technology, and domestic, Dekho Apna Desh, adventure, culture, heritage, eco, green, wildlife, flora and fauna, whatsoever we can think of. Let's have the closing views after this budget from each one of you. Dr. Subhash Goyalji.
I think you've covered a lot. The world lives on hope. We do hope that the finance minister, when she talked about, taking tourism seriously, I think it translates into action, because even the Prime Minister from Red Fort, when in his first speech, had talked about tourism. But right now we need something concrete on the ground, right? And the tour operators, first thing is this, 20% TCS that needs to be removed. Number one, SEIS needs to be reintroduced. And number three, you see, we need to have marketing agents digital marketing and social media marketing agents all over in the local languages. Because otherwise, our neighboring countries are going to benefit. And thirdly, you see, you cannot have tourism without civil aviation. If we want, to double the number of 25 million, the total number of seats, international air seats available in the country is not enough to cater to the present, loads. And there is a backlog on every flight. And as I told you that today airfares are skyrocketing. So unless we open the skies and we allow any airline that wants to fly into the country to come, we won't have enough seats. So हम जितनी मर्जी marketing कर ले, जितना मर्जा e-visa कर ले, unless and until we have enough air seats come in and go out. And we all focus on domestic tourism because India is the greatest show on planet Earth. I always say this. We are the birthplace of four great religions, Hinduism, Buddhism, Sikhism, and the wonders of the world. We have the largest number of flights. We have 7,500 kilometers of beautiful beaches and coastline. We have 24% of the Himalayan mountains, mangrove forests, you name it, we have it. Wildlife, everything. So I think India is a great destination, but domestic tourism is taking money from one pocket and putting it into another. This country needs, foreign exchange also to come in. And in 2019, we earned 30 billion, B for bomb, $30 billion in foreign exchange. And if we play our cards well, our entire 5-year plans can be financed by, foreign exchange coming from tourism.
Wonderful.
Our GDP can grow. So I think that vision, our Prime Minister has the vision because he has shown it in the leadership of G20. He has shown it during COVID as the world's largest producer of vaccines. We have the greatest leader in the world as our Indian Prime Minister. But somehow his vision is not being translated down the line by the bureaucracy, for the tour operators and for the tourism industry. And everyone is giving lip service, but practically on the ground, the numbers are not going up, and that magic that India can produce is not happening.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your most valuable inputs. Captain Sudesh Kumarji, before you miss your flight from Bombay to Delhi, let's go ahead quickly. Your mic is muted. Your mic is muted.
The flight is already missed.
Your mic is muted.
Yeah, unmute yourself.
Hi. Can you?
Yes.
No, it's all right. Great. Thanks to all my wonderful friends. I must tell you, I still believe that whatever we have got, let's take best advantage of this. We request the government to take industry into confidence, and whatever money they have got, they must spend nicely, judiciously, so that industry gets benefit. For example, they have to ensure that the incentive scheme of the Ministry of Tourism, Government of India must calculate. We must educate the Indian offices, the so-called Indian offices, which will be located in the Indian embassies.
I lost him again. I think.
Only suggestion is, whatever money we have got, we must spend with the consultation with the industry. This is what my only suggestion.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Pranam Sarkarji.
EM Najib का नहीं आया हुआ line पे.
जी, he's not here. जी. Pranam Sarkarji.
Thank you, Gulshanji. Thank you very much for the last comments. I would like to say that my request to the government is that they should continue the hand-holding and some incentivizing to the industry so that we do a marvelous business and we not only earn 30 billion foreign exchange for the country. I can assure you that through tourism, in 5 years' time, we can go up to 100 billion for the country.
Wonderful.
And you can imagine the kind of job opportunities our youth will get. That is one thing. Number two, the promotional activities not yet started by the government. I would request the government to start, the Ministry of Tourism, the promotional activities, including the road shows and in the foreign markets, and we go to some of the exhibitions like ITB and other shows. We must continue some road shows during that period so that we can utilize our funds reasonably, and we can think of some new business. And people are looking towards India, and India is not marketing. So it is a lack of knowledge to the people of the world, so that once they know that we are open, they will definitely come. There will be not only 11 million tourists coming to India, but it will grow 20 million tourists in very short time. And
Wonderful.
we also have the segment of medical tourism, which is growing a lot in the world. And we have also the film tourism in India, and a lot of people from the abroad, from film companies are coming to India, including Hollywood. They are coming for the cheaper production level. They are using that. We should promote those things, more of that, so that we can grow faster than normal. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Sarkar Sahab. Ladies and gentlemen, there's a target being set by the government of India for 1 trillion services exports, and tourism can play a very important role. That's what Mr. Sarkar, presently also with the Services Export Promotion Council and the former IATO. We've also been joined by Mr. P.P. Khanna, the president of the Association of the Domestic Tour Operators of India. Domestic tourism has been given a big boost. It has been mentioned in the budget very well. At the same time, Dekho Apna Desh, I was talking yesterday to somebody in the Ministry of Tourism, and I inquired, please do give me the statistics, how many people actually availed the opportunity to get the financial support of the Ministry of Tourism with regard to Dekho Apna Desh, and what is the roadmap ahead? How are we proceeding? How are we going ahead? I'll talk at the end. Khanna Sahab, are you there on the iPhone?
Yes, sorry
Please.
to, join later because I had some guests here at my home. So I'm sorry, I don't know exactly. Subhaji also called me to join at least for 5-10 minutes. So I am here now.
हम तो
So
सिर्फ
maybe,
चाहते हैं देखो अपना देश, डोमेस्टिक टूरिज्म आपसे चाहिए हमको.
yeah, no, it's a,
Please
so,
go ahead.
yeah, exactly what I heard in last 2 minutes about our honorable Subhash Goyal ji se or Sarkar Sahab se and Captain Sudhir ji se, that exactly, domestic tourism is today the lifeline of this, country. And our honorable Prime Minister has always says that Dekho Apna Desh. And yes, of course, we are trying our best to show the case to the citizens of India. Not only the citizens of India, even the inbound is very, very important, as Mr. Kara also said. Yes, of course, we need kind of a strategic marketing actually is very, very important, which has not been done. State tourism boards are doing a lot of efforts for the infrastructure, but basically, where are they are looking for the tour operators or the travel agents? That has not been taken care about that. Yes, of course, indirectly, you are saying that 50 destinations will be now upgraded with the state tourism boards and skill management will be there. But, it's very, very important to, if you really want to promote any destination, it's very, very much required that educational programs should be done for the travel agent to the tour operators, which has not been done. And we have written to all the almost states about the state specialist programs, that they should have some kind of a state specialist program for the tour operators and the travel agents, so they know the potential of that particular state and they can really sell the product and the destination. But unfortunately, it has not been done. And we have always talking about the, data. Why the, after the pandemic, when it opened the door, there was a revenge tourism, because there is no such kind of a data with the, tour operators. If we have a data about the particular destination, then we can really carry those, only the tourists, those who are, we can really fill up that data. But unfortunately, the data is not provided, and it's not even on the website. How many hotels are there? What is the infrastructure is there? How many transporters are there? So these are the very important things which actually the government should look into that. And not only the government, it is the duty of all the state tourism boards and the union territories that they should provide the data to the tour operators on their website, so that we know what is the capacity of that particular destination and the state. So these are the important factors which actually it is look into that. And yes, of course, skill management is very, very important. And they should, India is a youth country. It's a very young country. About 67% of the people are under 35 years. So we have to look into that. The youth power has to be utilized in such a manner so that, we become a skilled professional country in the world globally.
Thank you. Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Khanna
Thank you.
Saab. That
Thank you.
is the president of the Association of Domestic Tour Operators of India. When we are talking about domestic tourism, and Dr. Saklani ji, you're watching this particular program as a director NCRT, and also you are the chairman of the National Council for Teacher Education. Why domestic tourism should be a separate vocational subject? Why not it should be integrated into our history, geography, whatever you are teaching in the textbook, let domestic tourism be a part of it. Let's not take it separately, because when you're teaching in the higher education, planning and strategies and marketing and global frameworks, let it come in higher education as a separate subject. But as far as CBSE syllabi is concerned, for that matter, the Navodaya Vidyalaya, for that matter, Kendriya Vidyalaya, all of us, why not we should work out, and NCRT should bring whatsoever, because tourism is a part of art, craft, culture, cuisine, dances, music, whatever you are talking about. And now, I think before Anil Kalsiji leaves, let's have his views. That is from the Travel Agents Federation of India. Please go ahead, Kalsiji, unmute your mic.
Just the last word
Kalsiji,
that
yes.
we need the support of all associations, everybody in the industry, to get the TCS issue solved, because it is of great relevance to all of us. So whoever can pitch in wherever, in whichever field, maybe to get to the Prime Minister, please come forward and give us the helping hand so that we are able to sustain the industry. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Kalsiji. Can I request Mr. Mukesh Jagga once again from the Domestic Tour Operators Association? Domestic tourism is moving. If we want to bring, we want to remove the regional imbalances. If we want to bring equality in the economy and the growth and the development, domestic tourism plays very important role. Mukesh Jagga ji, your MICE industry, your wedding tourism and all that what we talk about, how do you look at it? People are going to Thailand by chartered flights for their wedding tourism. How do you look at it?
Thanks, Mr. Gulshan, again. First of all, Mr. Kalsi, anything related to GST or anything or TCS, I am willing to come on board. So you can count me on. Gulshan ji, you said that regarding the conferences, etc. First, again, I would like to thank the ITO for one thing, that when they started, it was they who started the real tourism, and they made it more organized and over the years, and they have been projecting and taking our flags higher. So if they would not have been there, domestic tourism would not have really reached at those levels what it is today. So really thanks to inbound people for taking us along. Regarding the part of what Mr. Pranav also said, and other also, the film or the other big companies wanting to do big conferences, my question is the other way around. Why should not they be going to Thailand or other places? Because in India, you don't get any benefits. Why should anybody come in India and do an event and where they are left on their own and no incentives are being given to them, like what was given to Mr. Yash Chopra? And that is why they really promoted that place. And they are getting the benefits for even more than 3 decades now, and other countries have followed it. So I would like to actually question, why should not everybody be going abroad?
So only we should give more incentives.
Without that, you can't work. Because it's, even if you're giving an incentive of 5% or anything, you're getting taxation which is more than 18% or 20%, what Mr. Sarkar said and all the other legendary said. So giving 5 and taking 20, you are making a net income of 15% plus the employment, and everything doesn't need to be talked again and again, because everybody is smart enough to understand it.
Okay.
Great. So that's my viewpoint. And also, government has given a very crystal clear signal if we can read it. The signal is very clear be it of political reasons or be it for any other reason. They are saying to us, boss, only promote religious tourism in the country. That is what they want. That is why the places which have been identified are more from that nature. So political is a word which everybody can understand and really understand between the lines. So if we as travel agents today have to survive, that is the answer, be it for domestic, spiritual or inbound people, whoever they are bringing.
Okay.
So these are my viewpoints that these things have to be dwelt upon, and incentives are being given up by all the tourism boards. So, and we need to give them again a paper. So we need to have faith or anybody who is willing to show them the real truth of life. And I'm sure they will change.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, Mukesh Jaggaji. Subhaji, you are the co-host with me. We will come at the end. Let's get the young boy, Philim Rohan from the northeast part of India, because ultimately when we are talking about domestic tourism, youth play very important role. When we are talking about education, they play very important role. When we talk about skills and competencies, they play very important role. So Philim, what you would like to tell as a young boy from India, as a vibrant, as far as our tourism is concerned? Come on, let's have your view onto that.
Okay. Speaking in a very practical way, and which I have been practicing it for the past 1.5 months, I've been almost speaking to more than 25,000 students, interacting in almost 25 schools. That is like 1,000 students in numbers of one school. So respected dignitaries were mentioning about integrating this tourism education to the NCERT syllabus and the CBSE syllabus. I myself have been practicing it in such a vocal form that I have been speaking to them like this. So believe it or not, in the another 90 more cities that I have to go, I'm keeping a target of at least interacting 3,000 students, which will be approximately like 3 institutions. So this can be used as a very big platform where domestic tourism can be practiced, and practically we can also have a view on like how we can put up more of the domestic education to the kids. So my last request to all the dignitaries is that, like, I'm already been into action. Please use me for the better benefit of the domestic tourism. So that's how I can present myself. Thank you.
Philim, vlogging. Earlier it was a blogging. Now there is a vlogging. We will use you for that, for promotion of Indian tourism. When we say Dekho Apna Desh, or when we talk about domestic tourism, will certainly work. And see, on the international platform, you've got the mobile number of Mr. Mukesh Jagga. I think a lot of people have noted down, and people from Singapore have told me, yes, we would like to get in touch with him, and he wants to talk on Sunday. That is the best part. Thank you. Let me just come to Mr. Tyrone D. Brass. Tyrone ji, what would you like to tell? Because you're dealing in education also, you're dealing with the youth also, and you're dealing with the education and skills together. Just a little word input from your side. Mr. Tyrone, I think I lost you once again, and you give a chance to Subhash Verma ji, my co-host for this program. Subhash ji, kindly unmute your mic, please. Subhash ji, unmute your mic.
I would say, you see, for domestic tourism, one specific point I've been saying, all those religious places, whether it's Vaishno Devi, whether all these, the states should do one thing. Same venues, people will go one night extra, having wellness, family activities on the same place. This will be such a quick growth because log to jate hi hai wahan pe. And if there is some venues had other alternatives on the same venues, you will see the growth will be, whether it's leisure activity, families together, wellness, yoga on the same venues. It is so easy for states. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Subhash Verma ji, always think how to remain young, how to talk young, how to walk young, the wellness tourism, the spiritual tourism, the yoga, the meditation, the naturopathy, and the organic food which you can enjoy. Mr. Tyrone, we lost you in between, and Subhash Verma ji took the cue. Please go ahead.
Well, Doctor, the way most of the speakers have raised issues, I think tourism should not be treated as the golden goose, but instead allow people, the people in tourism sector, to do their job properly and don't kill it. From
Get
what I've understood,
incentivized. Get
that's right.
incentivized. Yes.
That's
For
right.
their
That's
hard
right.
work. For their hard work. And today from this platform, when this budget has come, my humble request is, why do we call travel agent? Why not we should call tourism facilitator, travel facilitator, travel
Counselors.
consultant, travel counselor?
Counselors.
Why do we call tourist guide? I think we will come out with something where we will try and develop new terminology and new vocabulary for this particular industry, which has to be get into. And with this, ladies and gentlemen, I'm so very happy, and my deep gratitudes and thanks to all the legends and all the captains and all the seniors of the tourism industry and hospitality industry. Subhash Goyalji, unmute your mic, sir.
Sir,
Yes.
Since the boss of NCRT is there, I have one suggestion.
Yes.
Public health and hygiene should be made a compulsory subject in the primary and secondary schools, because that will boost the Clean India campaign, which the Prime Minister wants in a big way. And secondly, the proper study of our revolutionaries and our freedom fighters, which is missing from the history books, should be incorporated. A lot of freedom fighters, their stories are missing from the books of history. They have to all be included. And thirdly, you see, some marks should be allocated in the curriculum for visiting students of one state to another state, and then they can write about tourism, geography, history of that place. And these would be practical suggestions which would, our future generations will know about the real people who, give up their lives for the country. And also public hygiene. All our cities need to be cleaned much more. And the youngsters need to learn about this from the childhood. So if that could be made a compulsory subject,
excellent.
It will help us.
Excellent. And you would be happy to know, let me tell the international audience also, Dr. Saklani is a history professor from one of the university from Uttarakhand, and he's already working onto this particular concept, not only in NCRT, even in National Council for Teacher Education, Curriculum and Contents. That part is coming, sir. But the Clean India and Clean India campaign, all that is a wonderful, which you have made a mention. But revolutionary and historians, those have contributed. That's coming in a very big way to the whole concept. With these words, ladies and gentlemen, let me convey my deep gratitude and thanks, because Subhash Vermaji gave me a time till 9:30 and it is 28 minutes past 9 p.m. I'm 2 minutes before arrival. The flight is landing before Lufthansa. They say that you can synchronize your watches with them. Now you can synchronize watches with the Indian tourism as well. Our tourism industry and the tourism legends, they're doing extremely, and their voice has to be taken to all the places. With these words, thank you very much. We are indebted from the International Chamber for Service Industry. And I always give a slogan before closing down: green morning, green afternoon, and green evening. And the green energy has got a big boost in the budget. Thank you.